The questions that find their way into the psyche of almost every human being are called existential questions. Everybody wonders why we are here. Is there life after death? What is the purpose of our life? What is the purpose of our existence? Why is there existence rather than non-existence? Throughout history, mankind has searched for the answers to these questions, and yet the search continues. Not because we've not found any answers along the way, but maybe because these questions are so intrinsically interesting that without them, the human conscience feels alone and meaningless. This may be partly due to the fact that every individual feels the need to find his or her own answers to them. It seems like people are innately equipped with a tool that produces the same kind of questions no matter what part of history they are from or what geographical locations they live in. The human race seems to be inflicted with an itch that cannot go unscratched, an urge to understand questions like, what does it mean to be human? Or even at a more ontological level, what does it mean to exist? Another existential question in this sense is to wonder about the order that we observe all around us. What is order? We ask questions like, why is there order rather than disorder in the universe? Or, where does this order come from? While this question itself seems so matter-of-fact, when we consciously and purposefully seek to address it, we realize how elusive and challenging the answer is. Can order be explained and accounted for within the universe itself, or does it require divine interference, as some suggest? Can we reasonably explain the order of the existence we live in without any reference to divine power? Let's start out with a non-biased and neutral question, because otherwise, the answer we arrive at might be tainted with a dogmatic stance. So, we are here to question the order that we see in existence and to try and understand what it really means and where it is coming from. Perhaps the most apparent example of order is the order of what we call time. Everything that we observe falling in perfect order happens in time. What is time? How does it relate to the order we see every day? How are they connected? Take photosynthesis, for instance. We observe that there are different stages where the plant receives the energy it needs to stay alive. There are very complex chemical processes going on here, following each other the same way all the time. It rarely changes. The plant seems to be doing these steps in the same order over and over again for as long as it has been that plants were on the face of the earth. How can this order of events be explained? What is really going on here? How can the steps of this process be accounted for? The big question we are trying to ask is, what is the source of the fact that these steps never change and keep producing the results that we study in science? Can an unconscious plant with no power whatsoever be responsible for itself? My rational mind refuses to accept such a hypothesis, so I continue to search. Who is producing the sunlight? How does the heat and light from the sun reach the plant? Do the air molecules have a conscious will to decide which direction they ought to flow? The questions never end and never will. But yet, if we find the source, we find solace. This series is about that, finding the source, its characteristics, and attributes, and what it means for our lives. Join us on this journey to discover answers to questions we've always had and find Islam from within.